You mentioned your time in Detroit, and I got a few more before I let you go. Denny and I have had many convos on here, had people on here talk about teams that get slept on, underrated, championship teams. This team against that team, fully healthy, 5-on-5, who would win? Um, 20 years ago, your team won the NBA Finals against the Lakers back in June. The Kobe, Shaq, GP, Karl Malone era Lakers, Phil Jackson. And even still, 20 years later, it's like your team does not get talked about enough. Maybe because it's not sexy, it's not flashy, it's not the mega superstars and everything. And I get it, but do you still feel like that your team is underrated? Is it overlooked, not respected enough because it's not the high caliber of names? Like, how do you feel about that championship time with Detroit?
Put us up against anybody, we'll bust their ass. Bottom line, that's how I feel about any of these championship teams. I don't give a fuck who you talking about. You could be talking about the Bulls. You could be talking about the Warriors. You could be talking about them great Celtics teams from the '80s and this early '60s and '70s. Yo, we going at anybody. That's how we were. That's how we were felt. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Think about it. That was a team full of misfits, as you just mentioned. Before I got there, it wasn't nobody on that team that was an all star, if I ain't mistaken.
Chauncey,
Then
no.
Tayshaun
Rip,
Prince,
no.
no,
wasn't nobody.
no.
Not
Nope.
not Eldon.
Ben Wallace,
Nope.
no.
Tayshaun was a rookie. It wasn't Ben as great. Now he won
Vince Lydia.
depoys,
Yeah.
but he wasn't an all star and all of this and that. But we were all misfits. Everybody one way or another. Of course, I was the biggest one with my technicals and this and that. But shit, I didn't even know. Come to find out, the rest ain't like Chauncey. I was like, man, what in the hell? I was like, are you serious? I'm like, y'all didn't like Broadway Billups, and
Of all
I heard a
people.
couple stories of all people. But no, I put us up against anybody for the simple fact we all looked out for one another. We hung our hat on defense and playing the right way. It wasn't no egos out there. It wasn't a particular person each night. Like, when you think about certain teams and championship teams, like if I say to y'all San Antonio in what 2009 or 2005,
Tim
first person y'all
Duncan,
thinking about is
Monty
Tim
Ginobili,
Duncan,
Tony Parker, Kawhi. Yeah.
Tony Parker, and Ginobili,
Ginobili.
right? So, and if I tell you 2004 Pistons, you gonna be like, damn, who's on that team? Because we weren't no league darlings.
Yeah.
But we went out there, we played the right way. We had a Hall of Fame All Star coach who was the only coach to ever win an NCAA and an NBA championship. We had our credentials with us. It's just the fact nobody outside of the state of Michigan believed in us.
Mm.
And again, no, we weren't flashy. Ain't none of that 115 to 120 in regulation. No, fuck out of
Nope.
here. No, we ain't going for that shit because you know why? Pride. I'm not going to sit up here and just let you keep shooting these fucking threes over and over and over.
Yep.
No, I'm gonna go and get no, yep, foul right here. But you gonna feel, yo, that shit stops right here, dog. We not going for that shit. Like I tell a lot of people, yo, like LeBron had a great quarter against us. I think he had that 27 in the quarter,
Yes,
and excuse me, in the quarter. That's the
only
only time some
once.
shit like
Yeah.
that ever happened to us. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah, that's it's a freak of nature because he's a freak of nature. So it's like, yo, no, that we ain't going for a whole lot of that shit. We kept a lot of these NBA stars under their average. We were a team, and we got an NBA record that will never be broken, especially now in this era, where we held, I think it was either six or seven
Yeah, that won't be
teams
broken
under
anymore. Yeah.
70 points during the era of
That's a halftime score now.
Facts. That's a halftime score.
man of Kobe, of LeBron, of all these great scorers that's out here. Like, yeah, they were playing in that same time when we did all that shit and shut all that shit down.